Last episode we tried 3 different tactics with varying success, and today you'll make the decision which one we move forward with in the hope we can achieve European football this season. And as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. Now, we had the classic 4-4-1-1 formation we've been using all season. We then switched to a more 4-4-2 diamond, playing Dele Alli in behind 2 strikers in Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Beto up front, before also switching to more of a 4-3-3 attacking formation, sticking to the same sort of players that we've been playing in the classic 4-4-1-1, but trying to move us into more attacking positions, and playing a bit more of a Barcelona-esque tiki-taka style along with it. So based on our performances last episode, I put the question to you, which one of those 3 would you like us to see continue through to the rest of the season? And whilst it was a close call, the overall victory did go for that classic 4-4-2 diamond formation, making use of the 2 big men, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Beto, up front together, and hopefully to see if we can use this formation to try and build on the fabulous 3-1 victory we secured against Manchester City using it. However, with Neal Maupay on loan at Brentford this season, having 2 players up front means that I'm using both Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Beto as my only 2 strikers, and it means I've got absolutely no one in reserve who can play in either of those positions should one of them get injured this season. And it looks like I'm not the only person to pick up on that, because I've got a comment saying if you use the 4-1-2-1-2, you might want to consider getting another striker off the bench in case Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Beto get injured or tired at all. So once again, this is where I turn to you to look for some help to see who you think I should bring in the summer transfer window. I've had some pretty decent suggestions, the likes of Benjamin Sesko, the likes of Brian Brobby, and even Tales Magno up front. But obviously, with me still only having £8 million left to spend, and with the January transfer window well and truly shut, with us heading deep into the second half of the season at the start of March, it does give me some additional time to try and think about who I can potentially add to my shortlist, and who could potentially be a decent backup striker, or even a long-term replacement for the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Beto up front. So of course, as always, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now, on top of that, while I do think this formation change is a little bit harsh on the likes of Onana or James Garner, who were forming a pretty decent partnership in the centre of the park, I have had to sacrifice one of them to keep this man Dele Alli in behind the 2 strikers. However, whilst I am doing everything I possibly can to try and revive this man's career, at 27 years of age and only 75 rated, is he going to be the long-term option at Everton Football Club? And bearing in mind the only other player who can play in that position is this man Abdoulaye Doucouré at 31 and only 77 rated, he clearly is not going to be the future either. So once again, if you've got any particular suggestions as to who can come in and try and improve that position in behind the striker, once again, let me know down in the comments what you think. As for now though, it's time for us to jump straight back into the football and put this 4-4-2 diamond formation back to the test once again, as we face off against another Manchester team. This time it's Manchester United at Old Trafford, a Manchester team who are reflecting their poor performances in real life here on this career mode as they sit 11th place in the Premier League table, and perhaps this is one of the first and few times we head to Old Trafford with a clear sight of 3 points in our mind. Can we do the business here today? Time will tell. And a fully fit starting lineup means it's a return to my best 11, and of course that means Pickford starting goal, Patterson at right back, Tarkowski and Branthwaite in the centre with Mykolenko on the left. Onana will go behind Dele Alli in midfield with Bakayoko and Danjuma on the left and right, and of course Dominic Calvert-Lewin is partnered by Beto up front as we look to try and see if we can hit the United goal several times today. So here we go then, a big switch and a big opportunity for us to try and see if we can turn ourselves into a really attacking team here on this career mode. Can we do the business? Let's see what we can do. Dalot though immediately down this right hand side, and immediately Branthwaite comes across and challenges him really poorly and gives away a cheap free kick, and it's one that Bruno Fernandes is going to take, and it looks like he's going to swing this one right into the box. He does. It's a good ball in. Anthony with a big volley and a Pickford with an even bigger save. Bruno Fernandes is going to take the resulting corner, and he's going to go short here into Anthony. He's being blocked off though by Bakayoko. Oh, that's really good stuff from the Belgian to just skip away from 2 challenges. And where on earth is the United defence now? Bakayoko can try and drive up this side. He's being chased down though by Alphonso Davies. Doesn't have the speed to get away from him, but is able to hold the ball up into Danjuma. Dele Alli round the corner into Patterson. Patterson into the box to strike, and the right back driving into the penalty area in this more attack-minded formation drives into the box and manages to drive a strike straight into the back of the net. Well, we broke at lightning speed, and Patterson was unmarked on the right hand side. He was picked out by that man Dele Alli, and that was a brilliant strike from the young man, and he gave the keeper no chance. I'm delighted it's 1-0. Alphonso Davies into Marcus Rashford, who's come central to try and see if he can get involved in this game, but he's gone and switched out wide to the left-hand side. Has he got the beating of Tarkowski for pace? Clearly he does, but Tarkowski fighting away and does enough to only give away a throw, but it's one that Rashford's going to take quick into Alphonso Davies. Rashford gets it back into Amad Diallo, now into Patrick Schick. Davies on the edge of the box here. We've got to try and see if we can put a challenge in as Pickford comes out, and it falls straight to Patrick Schick. and literally within about 5 minutes, United are back on level terms. Well, they just peppered the box and they just kept on coming. We couldn't get away from them, and in the end, they did get a bit of luck though. Pickford came out sharply, but it fell right to Patrick Schick. And when you give him the ball just there in an open net, he will make you pay 1-1. Patterson infield to Dele Alli. Nice little one touch into Bakayoko, into Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Tried to get it back. That was good play, but it was well read there by Alphonso Davies. It's going to be a ding-dong battle between the two of them all game, I've got to say. But now Patrick Schick, the goal scorer, he now finds Amad Diallo, and Diallo strikes from distance. Good save again from Pickford. United beginning to turn the screw here. They have been all over us. Only for a counter-attack have we managed to get a goal in this game. We've got to try and see if we can get a foothold back into it. They strike again. Pickford once again is equal to it. He's had a really good game so far today. Short corner though. Almost half an hour on the clock. They dummy the short corner and send it into the penalty area, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin was back defending. Bruno Fernandes is too strong for Bakayoko as Rashford lines up a strike, and this time Pickford is beaten yet again, and Rashford drives it low and hard into the bottom right-hand corner, and United have turned the game on its head. It's 2-1 here at Old Trafford. Well, we just didn't close him down quick enough. Rashford had enough opportunity and enough time to set himself and strike from distance, and it was a really good strike. Pickford had no chance through a bunch of crowded bodies in the penalty area. I'm frustrated. It's 2-1 United. Patterson into Bakayoko. Really nicely done here. We sold the dummy to Alphonso Davies, and now Bakayoko can bring it into the box here. He continues his run. Where is the cross? It was such a poor one. It was behind Beto in the end. That was not what we wanted to do, and that's a really disappointing way to end that attack, but Mykolenko does keep it alive. Danjuma around the corner into Beto. Good. Brilliant challenge from Maguire, because if he didn't make that one, Beto would have been in. Into Amad Diallo now. This game is really starting to open up here. Mykolenko tried to come across the challenge. Schick into Anthony. Anthony into the box. Has he got any options? Mykolenko comes back across the cover though. Good defending from the Ukrainian. Diallo has it again for United. We can't seem to find a way out of our own half here in the first half of this game. United are going to try and see if they can add a third here to really put the nail in the coffin before the stroke of half-time as Rashford plays it across to the back post. Davies is there, and it falls straight to Amad Diallo. Pickford just parried it into his path for the second time this game, and United do take a 3-1 lead heading into the break here. We just could not keep them out of the net. It was a brilliant cross to the back post. Alphonso Davies got his head on it. It looked like a decent save, but Pickford just parried it straight into the path of Amad Diallo, and he said thank you very much, just like Patrick Schick did earlier today, as that man, Eric Ten Hag, is delighted. 3-1. Danjuma down the left-hand side plays a wonderful ball into Beto, who's run the channel here, and we've got three men up here. Can Beto try and find at least one of them? No, he can't. Corner. And it's a corner that Bakayoko is going to take, and I'm going to try and see if I can throw this one right into the penalty spot. He's looking for the head of Branthwaite, doesn't manage to find it. It will come out to Onana, who just chets it down into the path of Tarkowski, and the centre-back runs all the way to the wing here. Doesn't manage to get the cross, and it's blocked off by that man, Alphonso Davies, who has had a very good game, it must be said here today, and United bring the ball clear. Mason Mount for United. Into Amad Diallo here. Lovely little turn into the path of Mason Mount, and now he finds Patrick Schick, who goes past Branthwaite like he's not even there. Patrick Schick in the box. Oh my word, he makes it look easy. Manchester United are 4-1 up here at Old Trafford, and Jordan Pickford once again has had an absolute mare. Well, he's gone from save after save in the first half to especially the last two goals being really, really poor. The first one he palmed into the path of Diallo, and that one he's beaten so easily at his near post. Pickford really shouldn't be beaten there. Terrible goalkeeping from the England number one as Manchester United take a 4-1 lead. This is turning into an absolute rout here at Old Trafford. After a brilliant start in the opening 20 minutes, we've completely fallen apart and we've lost our heads, and we just cannot seem to fashion any sort of opportunity here. Beto, though, is going to try and see if he can make a change to that. Out to Danjuma on the left-hand side. He's got no options, though. Danjuma, in the end, has to shift it onto his right. Gives it back to Beto. We're going to try and see if we can build up slowly here. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is challenged by Martinez, and that is pretty much the story of the game. Amad Diallo all the way out to Anthony on the right-hand side. We are stretched here as Mykolenko tried to come across. Doesn't do a good enough job, and Diallo has it again. This time, though, it's Danjuma who does come across. Good defending, though, from him. And now we can release Mykolenko. Can we try and see if we can hit United on the counter-attack? Dele Alli has it round the corner into Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm going to go out to Patterson on the right-hand side. Can he find a ball into the path of Bakayoko? It's a poor one. And yet again, our final ball has let us down here today. Tarkowski out to Branthwaite. We're going to try and see if we can build out from the back here as Mudryk on as a substitute is going to try and see if he can make an impact here, and he's turned the defender really nicely, and he's got the pace now to drive down this side. Can he try and check inside? Maguire comes across again. He had options there, Mudryk, but didn't get his head up and try and find them when he really needed to, and now Manchester United can try and hit us on the counter. We're just all over the place, 6s and 7s at the back here. They're just cutting through us like a knife through butter, but Mudryk comes across to make amends. Good challenge from the Ukrainian, and that is exactly the sort of spirit that I was hoping hoping he would come on and bring for us. Branthwaite, though, to bring it out of defence into Onana. The referee is looking at his watch. Is he going to blow for full time here? We can't get out of our own half here. United are absolutely relentless. It's into Rashford, into Schick, who strikes, goes out for a corner, which Anthony will take. He's going to fling it into the box. It's headed clear by McNeil. What is the referee going to do? He blows for full time. Well, after a really positive opening 20 minutes, things completely and utterly unravelled as the game progressed. 2 goals from that man Patrick Schick was our undoing here today, as at full time it finishes Manchester United 4, Everton 1. Well, bearing in mind Manchester United were 11th place before they played us here today, I was really hoping that we might be able to get something from this game. And whilst they haven't managed to leapfrog us in the league, they have dragged us down now to 9th place, and we're really starting to struggle here. We just can't seem to put together a decent run of games. Fortunately enough though, look how tight it is between us and 4th place Aston Villa, only 5 points between us, so we are still in the hunt for Champions League football this season. However, after losing to Liverpool 3-2 at Goodison Park, courtesy of a late Merlin goal in the 85th minute, we do manage to get back on track away from home against Bournemouth though, after a hard-fought 1-0 victory, courtesy of a late goal from Beto. The inconsistencies continue though, as another late gut-wrenching goal, this time from Newcastle in the 88th minute, means that we drop another 3 points as they beat us 3-2. And we can't seem to get over the line at home to Burnley, as a 0-0 draw is only enough to secure a point. And I've got to be honest, whilst I love the idea of having 2 strikers up front, it has left our form in the league a little bit up and down over the last couple of months. Unfortunately, dropping us out of the European spots, now dropped down to 8th, sandwiched between Arsenal and Manchester United. And so I think it's finally time for me to take matters back into my own hands as we head off to Stamford Bridge to face off against Chelsea. And because of our poor form and because of a little bit of fatigue creeping in, I have decided to make a couple of changes to the usual starting 11. Williams comes in at right back in place of Patterson, and it's all change on the left hand side as Hatter comes in at left back, and ahead of him is Mudryk in left midfield. A big game calls for a really big result, and we absolutely have to get a big result here in London against Chelsea. It's going to be a tough ask, but I'm confident the boys can turn this momentum on its head. Jackson into Christopher Nkunku. Branthwaite comes across with a big challenge though, and Willems wins it back well and then delivers a lovely pass into Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Tries to go around the corner. He's tussling though with Badiashile, but the Frenchman gets the ball back and wins it well for Chelsea. Reece James on the right hand side looks to come central, instead goes around the corner to an overlapping Enzo Fernandez, and he goes past Mudryk, who I'm sure will be keen to put in a sterling performance against his on loan parent club, as Nicholas Jackson in the box though gets that Chelsea team off to a firing start inside the opening 10 minutes. Well, we just can't seem to buy a win at the moment, and once again Chelsea just carved through our defence like a knife through butter. A brilliant finish from Nicholas Jackson. He gave Pickford absolutely no chance, and inside 10 minutes Chelsea have an early lead here at Stamford Bridge. Into Onana. Onana into Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's come deep to try and see if he can get involved in the play here. Turning though, can't seem to find any sort of option. Branthwaite has it, plays it into the feet of Beto. He gives it to Dele Alli. Dele Alli is almost blocked off. Can he find a ball into Dominic Calvert-Lewin? No, he can't. Cucurella got there ahead of him. Branthwaite, a defence-splitting pass, really nicely done there. And Beto now has it, but he's looking for options. But Chelsea are defending in numbers. He gives it to Onana. Onana, one touch into Dele Alli. Dele Alli turns on his right, tries to strike. Good defending again. Enzo Fernandez into Nicholas Jackson. Pareo now into Christopher Nkunku. Chelsea try to hit us on the counter-attack, and Raheem Sterling has it now, drives into the box. Willems is frantically trying to get back here. Oh my word. Absolutely shocking from Raheem Sterling. Hato down the left-hand side. Mudryk is wide, but he's coming in central now to try and see if he can get involved in the play. Tried to fire it all the way across to the right-hand side, but lost it in a really dangerous position. But Tarkowski comes across. Good challenge though from my captain, and then he almost lost it again. Chelsea pressuring high up the pitch here in typical Pochettino style. Beto though tries to turn it around the corner, and again we just can't seem to get any sort of rhythm here today, and any sort of rhythm in this episode, to be honest, ever since we switched to 2 up front. But it is still a formation that I'm hoping we can try and see if we can get the best out of our strikers from. Mudryk now into Beto. Beto is going to try and turn it around the corner into Mudryk. He has done the job here, and now the Ukrainian can drive into the box against his former club. Oh, perhaps he should have shot. He got the cross wrong, and that is a big opportunity that's gone begging there. Reece James being chased down by Onana. Lovely ball into Buendia. Buendia into Enzo Fernandez, who's almost taken out there by Tarkowski. It's Nkunku into Buendia again. He drives in the box, and oh my word, I thought that was going to be 2-0 there. Somehow Buendia has missed, and somehow we get away with one. Nkunku, the Chelsea press continues. Onana wins it back well though into Dele Alli. He goes into Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Can we try and see if we can hit Chelsea on the counter-attack? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a lovely ball into Bakayoko. Bakayoko to strike. Bakayoko to level up the scores here at Stamford Bridge. Well, I've got to be honest, was it deserved? I'm not quite sure, but I do not care one bit. It was an incisive breakaway, and that is exactly the sort of outcome that happens when you have the spare man up front. Bakayoko was unmarked on the right-hand side. He was found, and that is a brilliant finish with his right foot across the goalkeeper to level up the scores. It's 1-1. Christopher Nkunku for Chelsea, out to Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, lovely little dummy there to try and play it inside, but gets it back though. He's going to try and go past Willems. Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant defending from the young Belgian. Absolutely sensational. Dele Alli gets it back now into Bakayoko. Bakayoko's going to try and release Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has somehow managed to stay on side, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin now goes into the centre looking for Dele Alli, who strikes, and Dele Alli with a wonderful finish to turn this game on its head and give us a 2-1 lead inside the opening 7 minutes here in the second half. But once again, it was back to front, an incisive counter-attack, and Dele Alli, he still had a lot of work to do to try and find the corner from there. That is a brilliant finish from the Englishman, and what a way to mark your return to Stamford Bridge, a place where he has haunted Chelsea in the past, to get us back into the lead. It's 2-1 Everton Football Club. Raheem Sterling now trying to drive past Willems. It's been a real ding-dong battle between the two of them so far in this game. Cuts it back into Nkunku. Lovely stuff. Lovely interchanging passing between the two Chelsea men. Nicholas Jackson now has it though. Sterling trying to fashion a shot on his right, and this time it's off the bar again. Branthwaite into Tarkowski. The Chelsea press is absolutely relentless. We cannot do anything to escape it as Raheem Sterling wins the ball back dangerously here. Drives into the box. I think Tarkowski's just done enough to block off that run, but Sterling still has it now into Cucurella. Sterling has been so dangerous all game. Willems comes across. Good defending once again. We've got to do something to try and shut off this Chelsea press. It is absolutely relentless. We're not using the long ball efficiently enough here to try and beat the presses. And Nkunku now into Jackson. Branthwaite with the challenge. He can't get the ball clear. He's desperately trying to get it away. But this time Enzo Fernandez just fires it into the arms of Jordan Pickford. Willems down the right-hand side. Finds Bakayoko ahead of him. Chelsea just seem to have numbers everywhere. They're just outnumbering us all over the pitch. Dominic Calvert-Lewin though came across. That wasn't the man who I wanted to get the ball there. I wanted Willems with the overlap. Instead, Onana now has it. Plays it into Dele Alli. He turns. He's going to find Mudryk on the left-hand side. Mudryk's going to line up a strike and get it all wrong. Well, we've got just under 10 minutes here to hold on to what will be a much-needed win here at Stamford Bridge, and a huge win and a huge 3 points in our fight for European places this season in the Premier League. But Raheem Sterling goes again. This man has been so dangerous for Chelsea all game. Willems comes across to try and put a halt to that run. Instead, he cuts inside, but the Belgian, and once again, puts in a wonderful challenge, and now we can try and hit Chelsea on the counter-attack, and it's Decore now, on as a substitute, drives into the box. Can he find the goal? Oh my word, no he can't. What a miss from Decore. That was the chance to put the game to bed. On as a substitute, he was fresh in his mind, fresh in his legs, but he just could not find the back of the net. So poor from the man. Beto into Mykolenko with the overlap now. I'm just going to try and drive to the corner flag here. We are deep into stoppage time. The Ukrainian just trying to hold on to the ball here. Can we try and see if we can hold on for a big win here today? Mykolenko instead is going to try and drive it across. Reece James with the block. Pedro Gonçalves will bring it away. He's been chased down by Danjuma as the referee blows for full time. While Chelsea absolutely battered us from pillar to post, the pressure and the high press was relentless, but somehow we managed to escape with the 3 points. It was very much a hit and run victory here today, but that man Dele Alli, his goal was enough to prove the difference between the two teams. As at full time here at Stamford Bridge, it finishes Chelsea 1, Everton 2. It was a massive moment for Dele Alli. It was his 6th goal in the Premier League so far. He's got 6 goals and 7 assists in 27 appearances. To be fair, having been out in the cold for so long, that's actually a pretty decent return for the Englishman. And whilst our return to winning ways only keeps us in 8th place of the Premier League, it does cut the gap to Aston Villa in 5th place to just 4 points, and also cut the gap to Newcastle in 4th place to just 8. And with just 5 games remaining left in our Premier League campaign this season, can we do what no other team expected us to do at the beginning of the season and qualify for Europe? But that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you can join me next time for what is going to be a smashing season finale. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.